Hey friends, okay, so this is part 2 of my Q&A. Over on Instagram, I asked if you guys had any questions for me, and you guys had so many that I broke it up into 2. So my other one is all about fertility, motherhood, marriage. So this one is more like Catholicism and other questions that I got. Okay, so let's get into it. The first question is, who is your favorite saint? I have quite a few. Saint Bernadette is my confirmation saint. Love Saint Bernadette. The Song of Bernadette is an amazing movie. Like, life changer, so good. Talks like, you see the, Saint Bernadette and how Mary appeared to her, and just her humility is what I love. I love people who are humble. Like, I love it so much, and to me that shows me that they are actually holy, because there's a lot of prideful people who claim to be holy, but they're prideful, and you can't be prideful and holy. Like, that's kind of the opposite. Like, that's the fall of Satan. So anyway, I love Saint Bernadette. I love Saint Therese. Same reason. She's so humble, so little. Like, I love Saint Francis of Assisi. The more I read about him, the more I was like, dang, like, this guy is amazing, and he changed the whole church. Saint Teresa of Avila. I mean, I could go on. They're so amazing. I love people who are so strong in their faith that they would go to any length for God. Like, I love it. So, a lot of favorite saints. Okay, how do you discern if the person you're dating is the one God has chosen for you? I think in the end you have to have peace about it. I have a whole video on my vocation story, and I did not have peace at first, ironically. And I think there was like a lot of spiritual battle within me, not my husband. Like, he was like, she's the one, I'm gonna marry her. But for me, I was very afraid of marrying the wrong person. And so for me, it was a spiritual battle. And I think Satan knew that, and he knew that I was afraid of, that, I would hate marriage and all of this stuff. So, but I ended up doing a novena. I'll link my vocation story down below, because it goes way more in depth. But pretty much in the end, there should be peace about it. Like, you should have a deep peace within you that this is your husband, and make that decision to be forever, And it's okay if you question it before. It's okay to say, no, I'm not going to get married. If you do not feel like this is from God. But once you're in marriage, it should not be negotiable. Like, that is a commitment, a vow that you made forever. What did you do before marriage? Right before marriage, I was a nanny. I wanted to be a wife and mother, so to me the best next thing was a live-in nanny. So I was a live-in nanny. Before that, I worked with a lot of different ministries. In Hawaii, I was a program director out there for 2 years, and loved it. It was really fun. And then I moved to Virginia Beach, met my husband, and it was like almost love at first sight. Do you enjoy worship music? And if so, which band, artist? Love your channel. Yes, so some of my favorite bands are, well, I love Matt Maher. He is a Catholic artist. I really like him a lot. There's Chris Tomlin. I love Songhill United. I love Bethel. And it's one of those things, like, when I'm doing chores around the house, or I'm not motivated to do dishes, I'll put on praise and worship, and almost instantly I will be totally into doing the dishes and singing along, and just looking out my window at, all my flowers, and just thinking of God's glory. Like, I love it. So definitely a yes to that one. Okay, tips for single women who are waiting to find their husbands. I'm in my mid-20s, and I've always been single, and sometimes it feels hopeless. Yes. Okay, so I have one of my best friends. She just met somebody. She is a doctor. She's amazing, and same thing, was always like, where is he? I have never dated anyone. Like, and keep that in mind, you do not have to date anybody. Like, and I feel like that's almost a blessing. I'll get into it. There's another question, but I dated a lot, and I regret that. Like, I learned a lot about myself and stuff, but I just wish I would have like saved all those amazing moments just from my husband. You know what I mean? Like first kiss and, you know, all of those things. So so don't lose hope. Like pray for your husband right now. Like do novenas. For me, I did literally novena after novena. Different saints, different novenas. Like, you know, 9 days are done. Okay, Saint Joseph, I'm gonna pray a novena to you this, you know, next 9 days. And a novena is just a very intense prayer, asking for a very specific intention. So, so don't lose hope. Don't worry. God has somebody for you. I remember thinking that all the time, God, did you forget about me? You know, because I met Eric when I was 29. We got married when I was 30. So it was rough. It was so hard. Okay, how to do rosary with asking intentions. Like when to ask for the intentions. You can do it before the rosary or after. I've heard that the beginning is the best. I usually do it in the middle. Like, so I'll do the, you know, the little chain, get to the middle, and then I'll do my intentions there before I go around. And you can pray for anything. Mary is so amazing. She will bring it right to God, speedy delivery, and she's awesome. So I don't know if that's the question. Hi, I'm looking for ways to dive deeper into my Catholic faith. And it goes on and on. I would just say if you are like returning to the Catholic faith or you're new to the faith, how do you go deeper? I'm gonna do a whole video on this because I've thought about that. Like if I were new in the Catholic faith, what would I do? I would cling to the sacraments, go to daily mass if you can, for sure go to Sunday mass, go to confession. I would try to get a good group of friends if you can. Like fellowship has helped me so much in my growth to help me understand the faith and to grow and all of that. Read the Bible, read the catechism, like learn the Catholic faith and why we believe what we believe, I think are very, very important. How many times per day do you pray the rosary? If I'm lucky, once. What is your favorite thing about the Catholic Church? Oh, hands down, the Eucharist. Hands down. I love confession too, those two, the sacraments. I love our priests. I just everything. Like there's so much. I know you said you got married when you were in your late 20s, so when I was 30. How was your dating life before that? Was it hard being patient? Yes, it was so hard being patient. I dated so much. Thankfully, they were all like very, for the most part, very devout, holy Catholic men. And I think the reason I dated so much was I wanted to get married so much. That was my end hope. Every time I dated somebody, was I really, really wanted to get married. It was very hard to be patient. And it's funny because now when I look back, I was like, God, why did you make me wait till I was 30 to get married? Why? And the truth of the matter is my husband was not ready for me. And so that is what I would say to all those men and women out there who are not married yet, who are like, where's my spouse? We met at the perfect timing for him, because I feel like I was ready way before. And maybe, I'm sure I had growth as well. But he was not ready until we met, and which was a long time. So I always blame him. I'm like, you're the reason why, you know, I had to wait so long, you know, and we both laugh about it. But he was worth the wait. Like I said, I gave up. Like I was just like, did you forget about me, God? You know, and it was hard. I mean, if someone were to say, what would you want to be a patron saint of? I love motherhood and all that, but I think honestly it would be for the single life, even though I'm married. But I just have such a heart for those who are waiting. Like I feel like those were, in a sense, the hardest years of my life. Now I will say, I did a lot with that time. Like I did a lot of ministry work. I met a lot of awesome Catholic people. I traveled the world. I did a lot of things. So I didn't just sit and like wait. I went out and I lived my life fully, which I highly recommend. I let God still lead me in the single lives, and he led me to amazing things, like things that I would have never dreamed of doing, you know, and because I gave it to him and he's like, oh, okay, I'll keep using you. To this day, he's still using me. But he will do amazing things with your life, even in the single life. So just say, God, what do you ask me to do? I will do it, and truly be open, and you will be amazed what he comes up with. So being patient was very hard. What is the purpose of consecration, and can you recommend some? Okay, so consecration is where so there's like the consecration to Mary, which I try to do once a year. There's a consecration to Saint Joseph. That's a new one. But pretty much what you are doing is you're saying, you know what, Mother Mary, I love you and I give you my life to bring to Jesus. Pretty much is you're asking Mary to protect you, to wrap her mantle around you, and she will deliver. Like, I consecrate myself to her every day. Like, I have a little prayer in my Pieta book, and it's just it's very short, but I read that every day. So I consecrate myself to Mary every day, consecrate myself to Jesus every day. Like I did find a prayer finally. So I give myself to them to take care of me, to watch over me, to guide me, to lead me to where I'm to go to serve God, if that makes sense. So, but there is like St. Louis, there is like this one, St. Louis de Montfort. This is the True Devotion to Mary. So they have also the 33 Days to Morning Glory is really good too. So there's a couple different ones, and pretty much it's like a very extensive like prayer, like getting to know Mary on a deeper level so that you're ready on your consecration day to commit to it. Okay, here's the next question. How do you handle going through seasons of doubt and belief? I've recently been struggling with comprehending heaven and hell as well as the vastness of God. For me, I think that we all to some level might have struggled with that. Some people, it's a constant struggle, and I think that Satan loves that struggle. I would just say don't give up hope. Like, always believe and know that God is infinitely more amazing than we can even understand. And whenever you have those doubts, I would just push them away and say, no, God is real, God is amazing. And maybe even, you know, help your brain to like process how amazing God is, and, you know, be thankful to God, gratitude, all of that. And so that's what I do in those little moments that I've had. And I think that Satan really, really wants us to feel like there's no heaven or hell, because then what are we living for? You know, what is the purpose of our life if there is no heaven or hell? He wants you to feel like you don't have a purpose. And so just say, get behind me, Satan. There is a God, and he is amazing, and he is my best friend, and don't mess, you know, don't mess with me or you have to mess with him, type of thing. But yeah, I hope that helps. I'm running out of time, but I'll try to do one or two more. I was wondering how you go about handling wanting to cry, having private moments in the church. So our church still does confession. So every Saturday morning we can go to confession in our church. They have like tape marked down, you know, and it's funny because I think right as Lent started, I did go to confession. I haven't been since. And so I haven't stepped foot in the church since, you know, the whole COVID thing. And so, so I was like super excited to go to confession. Definitely had some things to talk about. And so I opened the doors to the church, and it was a flood. I was not expecting that. I mean, I knew Jesus was there and stuff, but I was just, you know, like focusing on my confession. I walk in the church, I see the red candle, which means Jesus is in the tabernacle, and I just bawl. I was not expecting it at all. And so I totally know what this person is talking about, especially if you haven't been with Jesus for a long time. Like, but I was just like sobbing. And I wanted to get in line really quick because I knew the church I go to, like, it's a really long line. But I was just like, oh my goodness, like, I just miss you, Jesus. So yeah, same thing. I did the silent cry because I didn't want attention, but I was just like overwhelmed with like, Jesus is here. Like, it's been so long. So also we have a cry room at in our church, so you could always go to the cry room and cry. Like, it's probably what I should have did actually, but I think I hid it somewhat. I don't think anyone noticed that I was crying. So that's all I have for now. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and until next time, I'll see you all later. God bless. Bye.